News First, Newsline with Faraz, Shauketaly.
And a very good morning to you. It's wet and it's rather lousy out there, but this is Newsline, live as always from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. We're running a tad late. We'll catch up later on, shall we? But in this ambience of politics and candidacies and so on, we thought we'd have a look at it from the people's perspective. What is really happening out there in between these politicians trying to secure for themselves another term of power and so on? And to discuss that, who better than Mr. Azad Sali. Very good morning to you, Azad, and
Very
welcome
good morning,
to the program.
Faraz, after a very long time, huh?
Absolutely. Where have you been?
I have been very much here, but you didn't have the courtesy to call me.
No, really. I've not been here myself.
Okay, good.
But anyway, now then, Azad Sali, on the one side, there is all this talk about who's going to be the candidate, who's not the candidate, and all sorts of jolly things. But in the meantime, through the side door and this door and anything other than the front door, deals are happening, and the people continue to be affected. Nobody is taking the blindest bit of notice. Why is it?
Actually, for us, elections are due in December.
Yeah.
Now it's August. Everybody is rushing to nominate the candidate. And when you see, the Rajapaksas have no other choice but to put another Rajapaksa. So they have nominated a Rajapaksa who can't make it.
Right.
Okay. Why do I say they can't make it? Means not only by the vote, but at the way things are, the way the situation is, he cannot even be the candidate. That is the name they have announced, keeping somebody very close in the family to appear.
What you mean plan B?
Plan B. Mahinda Rajapaksa is very capable of that, and that has been there. And right throughout I have been saying, Gota is not the candidate, Shiranti is the candidate. This is my perspective.
This is your analysis.
I have been doing this for a very long time, and I have been saying this also, and that is how it is going to happen.
Right.
See, all what happened was, when
Right.
Gota was sick and was at Mount Elizabeth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The famous monk, Abhetissa,
Yeah.
priest, he put a threat on the Rajapaksa and said, don't try anything funny. If you don't nominate him, we have a Vikalpa Yojana for him.
Right.
That was one thing.
What's
Second, you saw
what's a Vikalpa Yojana?
alternative proposal.
Okay.
Then they said, the army personnel went and met Mahinda Rajapaksa, said,
Yeah.
we don't want anybody else, we want so and so appointed.
Right.
So this was virtually like keeping Mahinda Rajapaksa at gunpoint and asking for this candidature.
Right.
So right, okay, you all want him, no? Okay, I'll make the announcement. And the announcement is made, knowing very clearly that he can't make it, because we saw on your TV and all other TV, Uday Gamampila coming on press conferences and only he is shouting that I have seen Gota's document.
Right.
Why is this document not coming out?
But why should it?
What? Wait,
But
number
why
one.
should it?
Then the list of people who are released came out just now, the list of June.
Yeah.
The June list came out after
Yes,
2 months.
you talk about the inland revenue.
Yeah. In that list, his name is not there.
Yeah.
Then the same Uday Gamampila has another press conference and says, I said this, they have not released him, but next month they will release him. So stupid to say like that, because the US department does not put out list every month.
Yeah.
It's only every 3 months.
Yeah.
So the June list is out, his name is not there. July, August, September end only the other list will be out. That will be out only in November.
Right.
Though the list will come out in September,
Yeah.
that list will come out only in November. He is not the candidate. He can't. The other one is the cases that are filed in the US.
Right.
Now what they are going and saying in that case, they have gone and said, he is the Secretary of Defense, but he is your citizen.
Right.
He has a foreign immunity.
But that doesn't really have an impact on him trying for presidency.
This is what I am saying. And then he makes the application in such a way that I deny having done this, but if that had happened also, I cannot be questioned because of the foreign immunity that I have. Right? This is the papers that have been submitted by Gotabaya Rajapaksa's lawyers in the US court. Now for us, one thing is, you are saying, you deny and then you say, even if that had happened, being a foreign, having the foreign immunity, I should not be held responsible.
Right.
Virtually you are accepting Lasanta's murder and other murders that have taken place in Sri Lanka.
Right.
Because you are answerable, not because of anything, you were the then Secretary of Defense. So you are responsible for law and order in the country. Today if you can bring Hemasiri Fernando and Pujita to court,
Yeah. But,
right?
Yeah.
If you can bring saying that they were responsible,
Yeah.
right? Then 136 journalists were murdered in this country during the period of Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Your station was burnt down.
This is sure, but 136 may have
That is
been
a figure.
they may have been attacked. I don't
Attacks
think
and
we're gonna-
killing.
Yeah, but not 136 dead.
136 totally. It was
Yeah.
in the newspaper. What I am saying is what was in the newspaper.
Okay.
Uday newspaper, your TV channel, Seattle TV channel were attacked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So likewise, business community, especially the minority communities, the Tamil community in C Street, they were just abducted on white pants. So now, he makes it a point to come on television and say, look, I will give the best positions to the government servants, allow them and give them a free hand to do everything, and everybody will have the freedom of doing things. Why do any candidate have to come and tell this in public?
But candidates say all sorts of things.
No, why should this particular candidate come and say this? Because the history has been that. So he has to come and tell the public, it was that, I won't do it again. So is the people going to accept that? Is the people going to believe?
That is the big question.
Is the people going to believe what they say? Who are these people who are behind them? The biggest mafia of drug dealers. You have the biggest
Who is this biggest?
underworld characters.
Who
you
is
have
the
the
biggest?
ethanol importers.
Who is this people behind the drug trade?
No, I mean the people inside the port tour. Even today, two of the chairmen are inside. Yesterday night at the program, their own port tour candidate is saying, there are people and we have expelled them also. So these are the people who came in with the change of the election system. You saw that is how port tour were able to win the local authority elections. But usually a local government election result does not have any impact on the presidential or parliament election. That has been the trend in this country.
Yeah.
And usually what happens is the biggest mistake the UNP made, Maitripala Ranil Wickremesinghe led government failed, is only because as soon as they came to power, if they have held the provincial council and the local government elections, it would have been a sweeping victory for both of them. They postponed that. The local government election was postponed and it was held only after 2 years. That is why Porto was able to come, because the calamity that had been created by Mahinda Rajapaksa was not conducive for any government to exist in this country. It was loans and loans, loads of loans which cannot be paid by anybody. So bring out a country which has totally collapsed economically, it is a very big task for anybody to bring this economy up. Today, whether we like it or not, we are all today living. Corruption, like the port tour, the UNP-led government also has its own corruption. We are not going to talk on that. That is there.
Right.
But the freedom of the people was not touched. People had the freedom to go out at any time, at any given time. And soon after the 21st bombing, whole country was peaceful even then, up to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
After 3 weeks, suddenly you see a well-organized group goes and start attacking.
Yeah.
Very
That did cause a lot of concern.
Yes. Then the president of the country says, when he meets people, he says, nobody other than the port tour fellows who did this damage to the country. So see, So the President of the country has very clearly come out and said the responsibility and the attacks that took place after the 21st bombing, after 3 weeks were articulated completely by the Port 2 fellows. So see,
But
can you imagine 450 people were arrested?
yeah,
Within 4 days all released. And the corruption that you and I were talking about the past regime,
yeah.
how many of them have been arrested? None of them were arrested.
Yeah,
It was only talking.
yeah.
During election time, it was only talking. A special file was made, the Attorney General was asked to make the case, everything. But even High Court were constructed and started for these particular cases. But we see Gaministan Rath out. How it is possible?
But he's been released on some charges.
That's what I'm saying. Even on the money that was invested through the gas company,
Yeah,
all those charges have been released and he is released.
yeah.
So where was the mistake? Was the mistake when the police department found that there is a case and they
Yeah.
filed the case
Yeah.
and then later it's been discharged, means you have not put the case properly. So who was responsible? Who is taking the blame for it?
On Newsline, we encourage you to send us your questions by SMS 0772 300 305. Card coming up on your screen. By SMS, please. Now then, Mr. Azad Sali, there's a question already here, and it's this. And as you know, we say it the way we see it. He has a grudge against the Rajapaksas. If Gotabaya isn't a candidate, why is he talking about MR's wife? What about Chamal, the brother? What is his grudge?
I have no grudge against anybody for that matter.
Right.
I am purely talking politics here and the way the Rajapaksas behave.
Yeah.
Why is the gentleman who is sending the SMS
Or
talking,
lady, I don't know.
lady or a gentleman, I don't, this thing, why is he saying another Rajapaksa? Why don't they say Dinesh Gunawardena? Why don't they say Vasudeva? Why do they say at least that Vachalya can be put no?
But it is this is their choice, their party's choice.
So this is what I am saying. These fellows don't have the guts to get up on their own and say, look, I have formed a party. I am the leader of the party. Yesterday you see a special press conference by GLP to say, Mahinda Rajapaksa is not a Port 2 man. He has not taken the membership of the Port 2.
So this is strange affairs. You
come on television and public and say that you have taken over the leadership and you are nominating a candidate called Gotabaya Rajapaksa. He is saying it, but he is not a party man. Then he is still an SLP.
It's a very special kind of democracy.
Very special kind of democracy. And the MPs also openly went and took their membership 2 months before from Mr. Rajapaksa. Did they take or not? Was it not shown on news that all the MPs went and took membership of the Port Tour? So why can't the SLP just sack all these fellows? Matter ends there.
This is probably why they're not allowing you to become a member of these parties.
I am
Because
not a member of any party
because
because I am the leader of my own party.
Yes.
So I don't need to be going to any party begging.
Yes, but isn't it because when you are there you make a lot of noise and it's
I
uncomfortable?
make the right noise at the correct time.
Right.
And what I say is always had been the truth and nothing but the truth. And everything I have said has come right and it is coming right.
And what about all of this, what it means is that the people are not getting what they ought to be getting.
Exactly.
Our government, the movement, has identified village after village after village where the need of the people have been completely and utterly neglected.
Correct.
And in the meantime, they are trying to vote themselves another 200,000 a month and so on and so forth. So how are we going to stop this?
See, I mean, this is only to make them silent. And the UNP MPs very well know to make them a supervisor, give them a supervisory post is only to please them by giving them a vehicle and a 200,000 rupees salary extra, is to asking them, you shut up and wait. That is why you say Ishan coming and talking on television.
Yeah.
We are going to resign. All are saying we are going to resign. Nobody wants to leave and go.
here's one, maybe from somebody who's your fan club. He says, Mr. Saleh is fearless and prepared to call a spade a spade. Well done for inviting him, presumably.
This is the general opinion in the country, Faraz, though you say that they don't take me.
Well, you know, when are you going to be a contestant?
Who
Who's your party going to support?
This is a very good pertaining question, Faraz. Today, nobody in this country who is going to be the next presidential candidate will get the 50%.
The rule is
None of them.
You need 50% plus 1.
Yeah. 50%, not 51%, but
50% plus 1 vote.
Now we saw Uday Gamampila saying yesterday,
Yeah.
Gotabe will be victorious by 42%. Nobody can stop it. I don't know what theory he has got to make Gotabe Rajapaksa the president of this country with 42%. When I said that, for that only he is attacking. See, this majority community vote will be divided into 3. JVP,
Yeah.
UNP, Port Tour. And still the SLP has to decide. Any person who has self-respect in the SLP is not going to join the Port Tour because for only reason the amount of attacks that the Port Tour has done to destabilize Maithripala Sirisena as a president, destabilize his presidency, also to attack him personally. Everybody who was on television under the Port Tour banner had always been attacking the president. Anybody who has some respect in society will not join the Port Tour only for that reason. Number one. Number two, it is the same president soon after election said, if I had lost this election, I will be 8 feet underneath.
Right.
Okay. So, and he also spoke of the corruption of the Rajapaksa family and how he being the minister and how he was not allowed to do any work in the ministry. So when that is there, when that is there for us, can a right thinking personality go into the Port Tour? Then what is going to happen to the future of this country? This is not what I have said. What the president has said about the Port Tour and the so-called leaders. So if you go and join hands with them with your 14 lakhs or 15 lakhs of vote to them, then you are putting the entire country in jeopardy.
On that note, we're going in for a short break. Don't go away because on the other side is still Newsline, live with Mr. Azad Saleh. And welcome back to Newsline. We're in conversation live with Mr. Azad Saleh. Mr. Saleh, now what they're saying, lots of comments, it's an equal split. Some people are saying that you're talking rubbish, in short.
That is the Port Tour guys, no?
And that you ought to be charged.
Yeah.
On the other side, some people are saying, well said, Mr. Saleh, finally an outspoken politician, fearless, especially fearless of the Rajapaksas. Now the thing is, you say all this about Rajapaksas, but I remember that it was MR who sprung you out of remand.
See, Faraz, that is a story that has to be told to the country. I think several times I have told this. I was invited for a seminar in India, and at that point, I told them, see what has happened now. All what I have said in the past has always come true.
And what did you say in India?
I told in India at the seminar that the LTT was made to be this by the government only. For the LTT to fight a 30-year-old war was that you were not looking after the rights of the Tamils. You were not giving them what they should be deserved to get. The same thing. You are pushing the Muslims also towards the wall. I only pray and hope. It is only a precautionary measure that I told them. Be careful. Muslims might take into arms if this happens. Was my statement in 2012.
I think they ought to have a commission and ask you about all these things.
Why did I say that?
Why? Yes, exactly. Why?
Now, after this 21st bomb, the investigations have found. Why did they attack? They say we were completely attacked. They have given incidents of Haludgama, they have given incidents of Digana, they have given of Gintota. All these attacks are...
Yeah, but what has all this got to do with you being sprung out of remand by MR?
Yeah, so I was taken into custody for saying that. But they didn't have any proof of that, because all what I said was again in a magazine called Junior Veteran. They put that in the next week, saying that what he said was this and with the recording. So I was taken into custody. 8 days I was taken on a 3 months DO by the Mr. Rajapaksa, the Minister of Defence and the President of the country. They kept me for 8 days, though it was a 3 months detention, but internationally I got recognized. The whole world started talking. The Canadian Prime Minister goes to UN, makes a statement for Shauketaly. All countries condemn this arrest. People started protesting on the streets. One Friday they protested. Before the next Friday came, on Thursday night, Mr. Rajapaksa was at BMICH and sent me affidavits over affidavits. 10 affidavits were sent to me by
what?
Army Saleh, asking for an apology from the President to release me. I tore all that. I said, let me write and give you. And I wrote my affidavit on my own and said, I have not done any harm to this country. I am always for a united Sri Lanka. But I only told you, he's an anavaki. Anavaki means only a precautionary measure for the country to take.
So that's
then that is how I was released. Not that Mr. Rajapaksa had any fancy on me.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe sympathy?
No sympathy. Why sympathy? No. If he had sympathy, he would have allowed my family to come and see me. That 8 days, even his own cabinet ministers, Rajita, Rishad, all were in front of the hospital. They were not allowed to come in by the CID. So this is the way they behave when they are in power. So if these people come to power, you have to be very careful whether your wife will be at home, your children will be at home, or whether the white man has taken them away. This is going to be the future of Sri Lanka. And see,
but what
now they are putting the army, all retired army personally onto the streets. Mr. Rajapaksa himself, Mahinda Rajapaksa himself had told Gota, you stop this, taking the army with you all over, if I am to come for your campaign. Now this is the attitude. You see, do you remember Faraz, if you are on the road and Mr. Rajapaksa is moving, you have to stop your vehicle, you have to turn back and wait. Still he goes. That was the time. But today on traffic, you see President moving, you see the Prime Minister moving, you see the Cabinet of Ministers moving, nobody is stopping, all are moving. But the Rajapaksas come, then you are at standstill, you wait for the Rajapaksa to go for the function, then you move out.
Right. Now, let's move on, because sometimes it gets almost nauseous talking about the same thing. What about corruption? This is all going on as we speak, as they fight to stay in power or to get back into power or to get into power. Whilst all that is happening, there's a lot of rubbish going on.
See, for us, 2015 government of Maitripala Sirisena and Ranil Wickremesinghe promised these people.
Yeah.
There's 6.3 million voters. They promised that we will bring all the money that is outside the country.
Yeah.
They bought the statement of money that was lying at the Dubai bank. You remember all that?
Yeah.
What happened? Who put the deal? Is it the President or the Prime Minister? Who put the deal? That never came to the country. Rajita, making a statement in Parliament, said all this money that is outside the country, if we bring that, we can build a very good economy. Was it told or not?
Yeah.
What happened? You are charging an ordinary person who is the breadwinner of a family, who is trying to earn some money by adjusting his age to go to the Middle East. He is caught at the airport and he is in remand. Up to now he is in remand. But Vimal Veeran who goes with a forged passport, having 2 birth certificates, 2 identity cards, 2 passports, is caught at the immigration by the immigration officer. The Prime Minister calls and tells them, you send him, once he comes back we will see. That is the law and order in this government.
There's also a lot of concern about various transactions or deals
what I'm saying? Everything
happening in the local municipality.
Municipality, you don't need to talk about it. It's on Facebook. It's on WhatsApp. The amount of corruption, just bringing in millions and millions rupees into the accounts.
Right.
And the 2 parties, the major 2 parties, the UNP and the Port Tour, are equally getting together and robbing now. This is the biggest part now. Now, if the bribery commission will move out,
right,
just go into the council, get the accounts of the councillors, and see their balances and how much of money has come into their accounts, that would be enough.
But that's which is why at all different levels of politics, it
There
is
is corruption.
essential that the whoever it is, the asset declaration must be made and be made public.
See, Faraz, asset declaration is a normal law that is in the country.
Yeah.
We saw 2 of the former MPs or ministers taken to court for not declaring the assets.
Yeah.
What happened for us?
1,000 rupee fine.
1,000 rupees fine.
Yeah.
So where are we heading for? Is the country going to benefit by all this? Why aren't you bringing legislation? Why aren't you not amending these laws? That first and foremost you take oath only after surrendering the asset declaration.
What about you?
After
Azad?
that somebody has to monitor.
What about you, Azad? Have you thought, given some thought to releasing your asset declaration
See,
as a matter of public interest?
See, wherever I held position, my first thing is I am duty bound by giving my asset declaration. That is what you have to do.
Yes, well, why don't you make it available public?
If anybody can see it, you see, you don't need to make it public. It is already there. It's like
Why don't
in
you
the
put it
public
on
domain.
your? I'll tell you a good idea then. To stop people like me asking you these questions all the time, all you do is put it out on your website.
Yeah, next time when I take over something, I will have to put it. But not now, no, because
Put
there
it,
is
put
nothing.
it. Yes, but you
And
can put it now.
I don't have any position now. Any time that you take up position,
But you
I
have
will
a
give
position because you're articulating the people's position. That is a position.
No, that is as a leader of a political party.
Yes, which is
See,
more important.
asset declaration is given
which is
to
more important
an
that you put it in.
institution
Yeah.
when you take over.
Yeah.
Now, if you take over as the provincial councillor, municipal councillor or a parliamentarian, you have to declare, or as secretary of a institution. So, I mean, we have no problem. Our thing, everything is transparent. Anybody can see.
Have you got anything to hide as you speak to me today now?
I have nothing to hide. No.
Right, well there you go then. So why don't you put your asset declaration on your website for everyone
I
to
can
see?
put that. There is no issue.
Good.
Yeah, no
do
problem.
that. To call your guy who does your IT
Exactly.
and tell him to do that, because then people will
They can see
you will have another dimension.
Okay, correct.
Now, what is bugging you the most these days? Because you are always very vociferous in your criticism.
See, people have a lot of, whether it is there now or not is a different question, but people have a lot of interest to see
Yeah.
what the UNP is going to do next.
Right.
When the 2 major parties have already nominated their candidate, the SLFP and the UNP have still not decided on who their candidate is.
Yeah.
So that is to be wait and see. But all what I used to say, would like to say is Mr. Vikramasinghe as usual is doing his delaying tactics only to do what he wants.
What is it that he wants to do? Very
See,
short.
you have to go with the mindset of the people. As a party, they will have to go with the mindset of their party men. Today we see
Yeah.
that the people are asking for somebody.
Yeah.
And Mr. Vikramasinghe is not prepared to give it. The matter is very simple, because according to them, there is 3 contestants.
Right.
Ranil, Karu, Sajid.
Yeah.
These are the 3 contestants that are there.
Yeah.
So, there is 2 positions.
2?
Positions, President and Prime Minister.
Yeah.
So, it's very simple for the Parliamentary Committee and the working
No, we
committee to
don't
sit
actually
together.
elect a Prime Minister. We elect parliamentarians and they will elect a Prime Minister.
So, that's what I am saying. So, they as a party can
Yeah.
decide on their 2 candidates.
Yeah.
This is our presidential candidate, this is our Prime Minister candidate. That will solve all the problem. All this speculation will be settled immediately. I don't understand why they want to delay this, only to deprive somebody from getting it.
No, I think you're wrong. I think they're doing all this to deprive the people from getting what the people want.
What I'm saying. It's not the question of
It's
people.
it's the
UNP,
wider.
UNP voter base that is asking, not you and me.
Yeah.
It is the UNP voter base that is asking for somebody. Is that the duty of the leadership to provide that? This is what I'm trying to say. So you have a problem. See, why did we come out of the UNP? There is no democracy there, though they talk of a grand old party.
So
with
that's
a
why.
huge democracy.
Yeah.
At the working committee, Mr. Vikramasinghe found that he cannot win that election
Yeah.
in 2010. Then he brings an outsider who was another army commander but an army commander who fought for the country,
Yeah.
not an army person who ran out of the country.
Yeah.
Now the fort has bought an army personnel who ran out of the country during the war.
Well, that's
Right?
another way of
Yeah,
saying it.
yeah.
But
You ran out of the country. Hey, this guy, whatever said and done, he fought for the country, he is there. But he was not the choice at that time also. But why did Mr. Wickramasinghe put, knowing that he will be defeated, so knowing that he will not contest and lose that election, so best thing is to put the fellow and make him the scapegoat and that. At that point at the working committee that I get up and say that this choice is wrong. UNP has never had the history of bringing outsiders to contest.
So it's
always
very-
the UNP leadership had contested election.
Yeah.
So you as the leader contest. If you can't contest, give it to others.
so it's very ironic that somebody who is trying to lead this party to victory is actually the least
Deprived.
is actually depriving the whole country of proper
Exactly.
democracy.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line. Azad Salih, thank you very much. We've run out of time, believe it or not. And that's the way it was today on the Newsline. Take care. Be careful out there because it's wet. And of course, God bless.
Newsfirst.